My base that I'm doing 4x5, and it fits exactly for the 4x5 piece of subfloor that I cut. And this is almost an inch thick, basically, regular OSB. And I'm gonna fill the inside of this with this sand. Help the sound to not transfer through. So we'll see how that works out. First I gotta put down a tarp under it. So I'll put plastic under the bottom, you can kind of see it down there. And then this is just regular sand that I filled this whole thing with from Home Depot. Try to make it as level as possible. Hopefully that works, should absorb some of the sand. And there's our base. It's filled with the sand with our little subfloor on top of it. And when I step on it, it's super solid. There's no movement in there and no little creaking. All right, built the back wall. Put it in just like that. That's the first wall. In the corners, I got this little overlap so I can fit the other one right under it. All right, second wall installed. The first walls I did were the two easiest ones, that are ones that are not connected to anything. Then what I'm going to do is up in these gaps, I'm going to put that expanding foam in there to make it not have any air gaps inside of it. All right, so now we got the frame up. I had to put the window in. I built the frame around the window and it was so tight, I didn't give it its usual gap that it's supposed to have, so I had to just install it with the window in there from the beginning. It has these little screws in here that hold it in. So I'm stopping for tonight, but this is where I'm at. I got 3 of the walls, the interior walls done. And that is the paneling, the insulation paneling on there. This window's framed. And our door rough opening is framed. So we'll see how this comes out. That's insulation up around the top because that sealant wasn't working very well for me. I'm gonna put it on top of it. Got this door in here, man. I put shims around it. My man Jay Deasy from the West Coast Crossover came through and helped me out. And it's all the way level. It actually even closes just right, better than the doors inside the house, man. So now I'm gonna have work to do in the damn house once my wife finds out that I know how to do this shit. So I'm using spray adhesive to spray onto the inside thin layer of insulation that I have there, and I'm putting another of the more traditional, R13 insulation in between there. Especially on this side, because this is the side right in front of it where the desk is gonna sit and the speakers will be right there in front of it. Well, we got it all drywalled all the way around. The window is filled in with sealant and major layers of insulation. I still have to tape it and mud it. And on the inside, I'm actually going to do one more layer of drywall all the way around. All the way around, I'm gonna do one more layer. I've done all the drywall work that I was talking about earlier. I did an extra layer all the way around. And make sure that doorstop is there. And inside of it, I did a whole nother layer of drywall. So it is like super thick. Even on the outside of the door, there's a whole nother one. Yeah, as you can see, there's no avoiding all the cracks and stuff that there's gonna be every time. But I'm filling it and filling it and filling it so that it's as airtight as possible. Well, I went super ham with the damn spray and all the sealant all over everywhere. I didn't do the floor. I'm gonna put caulking down there under there. But I sprayed that great stuff. This crap. Great stuff. I sprayed it everywhere around this thing. And I went overboard with it, but it's all good. You cut the excess away with a razor. And I wanted to make sure that although none is on the door or hindering it from closing, it's in every single crack that I could find on this thing. And some of these, you know, obviously are going to get taped over with the drywall mud and everything tomorrow. And really those aren't a crack to the outside. Those are a crack leading to another sheet of drywall leading to, look, all this shit right here. Plus on the other side too, more insulation. So, I mean, if this doesn't make it soundproof, plus the stuff I'm gonna put around the door, then I don't know what does. Side of this thing, we have a lot of sound still coming through, and it's because I have a hollow door. Now I did read on one of these dang on sites saying that you do want a hollow door, but that's not true. That's where I got some bad information. So now I'm having to triple insulate and hook up this door. I'm probably gonna fill the inside of the door with great stuff. I'm thinking that's gonna be the plan. But in addition to that, I'm also put insulation on the inside of the door. And then I'm cutting out a piece of drywall so I can double up what we got going on inside that door. We're gonna see how that works out. I cut out a 5x5 niche for the doorknob. Put that up right now, see how it works. I got this inside layer on the door. I used my nail gun, which happened to be just the perfect length. God is so good to me, where it didn't pop through on the other side. They're 2-inch finishing nails, and so it's pretty solid. I am going to put a little bit of spackle over each one of those holes, but you can see the layers now that I've added to this door. And now I'm going to do the same on the outside of it. Alright, so it's completely sealed now and mudded all the way around. You see I put multiple layers on the door. I still have to add the studio foam. Now I'm going to put that all around all the edges there. There's still slight leakage. You can't see any light coming from in there, but I mean, you can hear a little bit. Now there's double foam on each side. Wherever you think you see a hole, like right there, on the other side is double covered on there too. Even at the latch, which I don't want to like block too much, stop the door from going. But inside, it's all mudded up there. Up there that has that foam going all the way through it. Around the top, because that will be covered up with studio foam. And then, you know, I'm going to come in here and sand it down after it all dries. But we ready to start adding some equipment. All right, so now I put a light, a motion detector light. The guitar stands, the music stand, and of course the hanging mic mount. All that's up there. so that I could put pad around it without, having to cut out my pad afterwards. And then, or my acoustic foam, I should say. Then in this corner down here, I'm going to put a hole so that I can run my cables through. And I have this pipe here that I'm going to feed through there. And I'm going to use some joints. They're called weave joints. For all the plumbers out there, I guess they would know that, but I just found it on the internet as a good idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on the end, and then I'm going to have a cap, this cap that's right here, blocking off the straightaway side. And so I'll be able to look through the straightaway side, boom, and as I'm feeding cables through and doing what I got to do whenever I have to change cables or whatever. And then, but the cables will go through the top part up here, and I'll just fill it with foam, once the cables are in there. All right, so I finally got some studio foam in here. I treated it and put all my little particulars in there. There's my guitar stand, some my bass stand, my hanging microphone right here, our headphone amp, our power supply, everything ran through the wall and everything. And that's what it looks like. While I was in there doing this, I first put bass traps in the corners. Those are the most effective places for those to be. I did that right off the bat because I already knew I had a lot of reverb in here. Unwanted, unnatural sounding reverb. And so then I would come in here and close the door and clap. And as I would clap, I would hear that little tinny reverb. And so when I heard that reverb, I just added more and more and more. Now I did put diffusers in there. That's what these white things are. And that kind of is supposed to spread the sound out a little bit instead of just absorbing it and just make it reflect in a more natural sounding way. So I did that. Sorry if I'm making you guys dizzy moving the camera around, but I want to make sure you see everything in here, how I got it going on. And now when the door's closed, yo, mic check. As you can hear, all those street sounds went away. And, I can barely hear anything outside. And the sound in here is great. It sounds natural. It's not like, just too dry. Yo, mic check. I'm gonna put the camera down real fast. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm turning you guys all around. I'll do a mic check. It's pretty good. It's not weird sounding. It's not weird sounding. It's just normal, like if an ambulance drives by or something, and my garage is up right now, I can still pick that up. But as you can see, I still have. I'm gonna put foam all the way around this door too. That's gonna be my next set of foam. This kind of foam. I'm gonna cut strips like this across and then put it on all the corners exactly even. But this is all the foam I had for today, and I wanted to just treat the room, make sure it sounded good. And that's it. There's my little stand. Got some lights on here. We good to go. Well, and I'm done for the most part. This is it. I set up my little station with a little drum set. Of course, the MP and keys over here to the left. My mixing station, I still have to mount the monitors up above a little bit right there. The screen monitors. The studio monitors, I got just how I like them, right about there when I'm sitting back. And that's my little station here. My computer's out getting serviced to be tightened up. And then the booth, motion light, bam. guitars and shit. Like I be playing drums and guitars, but I really don't play all that. But that's it. Man, it was a lot of work, but it came out pretty dope, I think. And yo, you can hear me outside right there. There we go. Let's see. How's it sound with it closed? Yo, and now I cannot hear myself, but it's playing out there the same. You know what I mean? That is dope. That is super dope. Yo, mic check, mic check. Hey, we're live. The headphones, I love it. I love it. Now I'm finna go take a nap. Peace.
Niggas looking up to me like I made it. I was down, you ain't care, I'm up and they hated. I hate waiting, but I had to be patient. Anything I did, I had to be the greatest. That's tight.